Hey guys, it's Nick Saros with Point Shift Drive. And today we're going to be just talking really quickly about one particular quirk of this vehicle, the third gen Toyota Tacoma, which I think is worth pointing out. So let's dive in. All right, so here's the thing about this vehicle. I think everybody's more or less pretty familiar with the third gen Tacoma's interior. Now this is obviously the Pro, but here's the thing. When I'm driving and I want to change the station or change the track or turn up the volume on the music or vice versa, you got two options. The first is using the head unit, and it's a touch screen. It works pretty well, and you get these knobs. And then the second is this button here. Now, what's interesting about the head unit is that, yeah, it's not super up to date. I mean, in reality, it doesn't have CarPlay or anything like that, which would have been fantastic, but it's really not bad. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 in terms of functionality and livability. Now, the one thing though I wish they would change are these knobs, because for style, I think it's just for style really. These knobs are super smooth and glossy and such. And though when we're stationary, turning these knobs is actually pretty easy to do and you can push it. But when the truck's actually riding and bouncing, having control over this knob is really, really difficult. And so I know there's aftermarket kits that replace the knobs and give it a little bit more texture. So that way, it's a little easier to use, and that's great. But it's still a little bit of a pain in the ass, and I wish Toyota would consider, just putting CarPlay in and making it easy all around, but maybe they'll do that down the road. Now, the more likely interaction you're going to have with the vehicle is going to be right here. And I personally like buttons on the steering wheel because I try to keep my hands on the wheels at all times if I can. But what's interesting here is that this is the button, and you go up or down to change tracks or change radio stations. You go left or right to increase volume or decrease volume. Here's what's interesting about it. Like, to me, logically speaking, I feel like these functions, right, should be opposite. So like, shouldn't volume be the up or down? And shouldn't the tracks be left or right? I mean, to me, that's what makes sense. And apparently for Toyota in this particular case, they just either didn't pay attention or they thought, well, this is the way we want to do it, which is kind of what I thought until I had a rental car about a month ago, and it happened to be a new body style Toyota Corolla. I don't know what year it was, probably like a 2016 or 17. And it had the exact same looking button. But what's interesting is it had the right orientation as like I would think you would use. So mind you, I mean, this is probably a 1 or 2 year old car made at the same time as this Tacoma. So I don't understand why in that vehicle they would do it right, and in this vehicle they would do it wrong. But I guess, maybe it was just a small detail they didn't think would matter that much. So I don't know if there's an aftermarket fix or anything, guys, but if any of you know of a way to correct this button, I mean, honestly, I'd look into doing it because, I mean, I just use it every single day. It's a small detail, but it matters in the long run. So I thought that was kind of quirky. What do you guys think?